So now that Russell Wilson and the Broncos have done the biggest trade in the galaxy, every single big contract, every single big trade, every single big movement, subtly, like the tectonic plates on this planet, moves the economics of the sport, right? We've been seeing it consistently for 10, 20 years as the rules change and as the game changes, quarterbacks become more and more and more and more and more and more valuable in every way, shape, and form. More valuable in how much they're paid, how much people trade for them, how many of them go in the first round of the draft, even if they're not that valuable. Like by every conceivable metric, quarterbacks are becoming more and more and more valuable. So this is what it costs Seattle to get Russell Wilson. Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, one of them the 9th overall, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th. And then obviously we got Russell Wilson in a 4th. That 4th round always makes me laugh. It's like, here is $10 million, and we get Russell Wilson and a coupon for 20 cents off at Dino's Pizzeria. Like,
we get a coupon for a free onion brick at the Naples Rib Company.
It's like,
hey, those come in clutch, bro. Those onion bricks are clutch.
What if that 4th rounder ends up being like the next Tom Brady or like some like crazy Hall of Famer?
Stupid shit, dude. Like that 3rd rounder that we traded for what's his face, and the kid of Deontay Johnson. Like, God damn it.
Yeah. I'm very like, that's one of the weird things that I'm gonna follow. Like of the 1 million useless things I follow, that's gonna be one of them. Whoever that 4th rounder is gonna be and who's he turned into. It's like, oh yeah, he was part of he's better than like all of them. So with Russell Wilson and the Broncos and the Seahawks seismically shifting the values of quarterback, because like I said, I really think that Denver got a steal because they were basically the only people negotiating with the Seahawks. If it were 31 people, 31 teams negotiating for Russell Wilson, they would have gotten king's ransom,
a lot more.
But because economics, supply and demand, the Broncos are basically just negotiating against themselves. So it just shows yet again how much quarterbacks are valued. And so, what is Derek Carr's trade value? What is the number where we'd be happy to trade Derek Carr? Right? Like what's the haul? Because I like I said, I've said it multiple times. I don't want to trade Derek Carr unless we're getting a better quarterback, right? Unless we're packaging it somehow to get someone better, right? Mm-hmm. Just not interested. We've seen what quarterback purgatory looks like. We just saw what it costs to get a good quarterback, right? Like that's the going rate. And that's the going rate when it's just a one-on-one negotiation. We saw Aaron Rodgers' new contract, what it costs to have a 2-time or 4-time NFL MVP, back-to-back NFL MVP quarterback. Like that's the cost of good quarterbacks, right? If a team does come to the Raiders and says, we want Derek Carr, this is what we're offering, what would you accept? What would you say? Okay, this number I can live with. Let me ask you that question a second. Not what you think, not what you think he's worth just in general, but what you would accept to move on from Derek.
I had a different answer earlier today when Wentz got traded. He got traded for 2/3.
Yeah.
And a swap of seconds. And I was like, God damn, that really hurt. I think I thought at the time that really hurt Carr's value, trade value, because you look at Wentz's numbers, just the numbers, and although he threw for a lot less yards, he threw for more touchdowns and half the interceptions, and his QBR was about the same. And he just happened to have his worst 2 games, the last 2 games of the year. I'm thinking to myself, for 2 threes, that's it, huh? In the report,
for $28 million, I would have wanted like a Jared Goff thing. It's like, all right, we'll give you we'll take your quarterback, but we want stuff with the quarterback because that contract.
Yeah, give me some of that cash,
right? Like if I have to pay Carson Wentz $28 million next season and a $5 million roster bonus coming up in like a week, you give me 2/3. The fact that Indy got 2/3 was like, geez, Frank Wright, give him a trophy. Like, you actually got value out of Carson Wentz after that season. It's like,
that's crazy. That's crazy. If you look at the season as a whole, it doesn't seem all that bad. But at the way the season ended, and then the reports that came out afterwards, I don't know what the fuck they're doing over in Washington, but that kind of shifted everything. So Carr doesn't have that kind of baggage on him when the guy that wanted him ships him out for 2 threes. So I would say a couple of first day picks and a couple of second day picks.
So like 2 1s, 2 2s.
2 1s, 2 2s, 2 1s, a 2 and a 3, something like that on there. Yeah. The thing is look, I'm trying to be realistic here. Now, I'm not trying to say this is what he's worth and blah blah blah, because that's different. You have to look at perception here, and the perception is Russell Wilson is seen as a winner, and whether it's fair or not fair. He's been to the Super Bowl a couple times, been to the playoffs, and that's not all on him. I'm not saying it is. And I was saying that Carr not going to the playoffs more is all on him either. But there's a perception about him being more of a quote-unquote winner. And that carries more of a mystique, and he's valued more. That's what I'm saying. And that's why if you get 2 first-day picks and 2 second-day picks, maybe a swap of something like that, being creative, that would entice me. That would get me to be like, all right, that's something that we can work with, because now you can then work with something that, and then you can work with that and stuff that you already have to then also get a quarterback maybe of your own.
A first-round draft pick, right? A first-round draft pick for Team X. It has a value, right? It has, a number, like a value. It's a cryptocurrency, right? It has a value that we've all kind of agreed it does value, because this is kind of how we treat it. But it obviously means more and different things to different people, right? For a team that desperately needs a quarterback, a first-round pick last season was gold. Like, it means so much more than a first-round pick this season, because there's really no quarterbacks in the season, right?
And where is that pick? Is it a high pick? Is it a low pick?
Is it top 10, top 20? Is it, the Niners traded 2 first-rounders to get to number 3. Like, it was so valuable, right? Like, it was so valuable to do that, right? So same thing with Derek Carr, because not only are we trading it for just the value of Derek Carr, right? The skills of the carbon-based life form that is Derek Carr. But if we're trading Derek Carr away, that means we're punting on next season. That means we're restart, like we're reloading, right? We're starting over, right? Whole new coaching staff and a new quarterback. Yeah. That means you're starting over, right? So if Derek Carr was on the Jags or the Jets or a shit team, his value, I think, would be less, because you already suck. You just you're not giving away, like, hey, we're our playoff chances are gone now. It's like, no, they were never there. So I think that's why Derek Carr's value is so high to the Raiders this season, because they're coming off a good season and he's a core part of that, and because of his skills and other things. So it's like the timing, how well the Raiders are doing. These are all parts to me that say, like, all right, if we trade Carr, like, we need to get either it needs to be part of like a 3-way deal or something to get another really good quarterback.
That's what I was going to say.
Or like a freaking king's ransom, because trading Carr means, all right, we're giving up on next season. So you better make it worth really make it worth our while, if we're going to not try to build on, at worst, our second best season in the last 20 years.
Yeah, because Ziegler's on the phone and he's talking to Team X, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna flip Carr and get some picks. I want your quarterback." And they're like, "Well, where's the pick?" Well, we got our pick. Like, you're 22, bro. That doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get San Francisco's pick. They're like, "Fuck that, bro. They're gonna be higher than yours. Like, their pick's higher than yours." Okay, well, one of the Giants picked. Oh, that's a top 10 pick. Now we're talking. Now, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now we're talking, right? Like, just as an example. I'm not saying I heard anything, but that's where the conversation starts. So that wouldn't, in my scenario, those conversations would be going on at the same time. You'd have to line that other deal up while you're lining up the first trade.
Yeah.
Because I see it the way you see it. I wouldn't line up, and I wouldn't trade Carr unless I have something else already lined up.
Yeah. And it's all kind of a moot point right now, because the two that made sense to me, like the only reason I would think to move him from Carr is the 2 available quarterbacks that are clearly better than him, that are clearly available, or we thought were available, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, right?
They were available. I told you from the beginning they were available. And it's
Rodgers. Well, look, again, Rodgers wasn't, and it took the biggest trade ever to move on from Russell Wilson. Like, this is the thing. Like, let's not pretend that this trade is now like, oh, it happens all the time now. It's like, it's literally never happened, a trade of this magnitude. Like, that's
he was available because he got traded.
Right?
He got traded.
And so that's my point is, I wouldn't accept like picks for Carr. I would only be in a situation where we would give away picks with Carr to get for someone better, for a Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if there's a single quarterback.
Now, if you give away Carr, if you give away Carr, you wouldn't have to give up as many picks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
and especially like Seattle would have made perfect sense. Is all right. Russell's just not working for us, right? It's just.
Before I get roasted, I'm not saying I would have done the deal. Before I get roasted, just freaking relax.
Do you think? Do you think Seattle hit up the Raiders?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of teams
we'll give you Russ.
For a fact Washington did and Indy did.
Yeah, but the difference is the Seahawks have something we want, right? They had Russ, right? That's like. That's something that's going to be a what if. Hopefully that kind of comes out, like all the different deals that were like whispered about and talked about as the season goes on. I'm really curious what if there was any serious negotiations between Seattle and the Raiders to swap quarterbacks, and then what the Seahawks also wanted.
Yeah, Mick Ziegler's trying to win, bro. So nothing that Washington has us winning. And then the Colts call us and they're like, "Hey, man, you want to swap quarterbacks?" And, they're like, "Ring, ring." We're like, "Hello, Indy? Yeah, what's up? Wentz and picks for Carr," and we just hang up on him. Like, get the fuck out of here. We don't want that.
Hang up on him. We break our cell phone, throw it into the ocean, drive a boat down there, harpoon the phone. It's like, oh God,
it's like when your chick tells you to call your side chick and be like, call and tell her, "Listen, bitch, you're fucking up my family. Quit calling me. Don't call me on this phone anymore."